So we're going to be crossing a pure round with a pure wrinkled. So that's going to be big R, crossed with little r, little r. Now we can find out what the offspring will be by using what is called a Punnett square to show all of the possible offspring. So let's begin by looking at the alleles we're going to use. This is where we always start with any genetics problems, is with our alleles. In this case, we've got big R dominant, and that's going to be round. And we've got the little r, which is recessive, and that's going to be the wrinkled trait. Now, once we've got our alleles, we need to look at our parents. Now, we've got those up above, but let's just be nice and systematic when we're doing any genetics problems, identifying our alleles, then identifying our parents. We know we've got a pure round, so a big R, crossed with a pure wrinkled, little r, little r. Now, once we have our alleles and our parents, we can use what's called a Punnett square. I'm going to make one over here on this side. And a Punnett square is basically a simple grid. And if we have two alleles from each parent, then we just need a grid that's going to look like what I'm going to set up here. But first, let me write out what it's called. It's called a Punnett square. You're going to be using a lot of these. We need a simple grid like so. And let's start with our purebred round parent. When this parent makes gametes, the only type of gametes are going to have the big R. There is no other possible type of gamete. So let's have this parent make their gametes. And again, when we make gametes, those are haploids, so they're going to split off like so. We'll put those gametes up above here. Let's do the same with this parent. Let's have this parent make gametes. As you can see, there's only one possible type of gamete, the little r. Let's put those gametes here. So now we've got our two parents, we've got their gametes plugged into the Punnett square. Let's make offspring. Now when we have offspring, we know that gametes need to combine. So we're going to combine this gamete with this gamete. Here we go. Here's our first offspring. And our first offspring is heterozygous. It's round. That's its phenotype is round. But its genotype is heterozygous. Let's go and do a next possible offspring. Looks like it's the same. Big R, little r. In fact, if we finish off our Punnett square, we can see that the only possible type of offspring in this mating of a pure round and a pure wrinkled is going to be a heterozygous offspring. So let's write what our offspring are all over here. All offspring, do it nice and quick. All offspring are big R, little r. In other words, all offspring are round. So next we're going to use the Punnett square to see what happens when we cross two heterozygous. So we're going to do a cross right here of these two and see what happens when we have a heterozygous crossed with another heterozygous.